Hello, this is Amy Zawi with the Jerusalem Connection Report for Friday, August 26th. It's back to school for most colleges, universities, and even our school-age children as we hit the end of August in 2016. So let's update you a little bit about what's going on university campuses in regard to the BDS movement, Boycott, Divest, and Sanction. A movement popular on college campuses and often underscored or sponsored by the Students for Justice in Palestine and other Muslim student groups, and funded by quasi-terrorist organizations or even actual terrorists if one digs enough. With that being said, what are the reactions to these things happening on college campuses? Let's look at Germany for a moment. Just this past week, at the Leipzig University, there was a speech by a Professor Allen from the University of London. She gave a speech where German students from the University of Leipzig attended, and their own assessment was that this was an anti-Semitic attack on Israel and denying its right to exist. As a result of this speech, this student council at the University of Leipzig, sponsored by students from various political groups, including progressive groups, including socialist groups, and the like, all got together and penned a resolution through their student council. And in this resolution, they outright say that BDS's goal is to annihilate the state of Israel and that this has no place on their college campus. And they do not want any anti-Semitic rhetoric or support for such on their university campus. This is the first such document produced in Germany by a student council group. It is a wonderful response from a diverse and eclectic group of students, all recognizing the same truth, that the BDS movement and those who propose it and propel it are actually anti-Semitic. Truth is truth from any perspective. However, in another part of Germany, in Lower Saxony at Hawk University, for the past 10 years there's been a particular class in the Middle Eastern Studies department that was propelling libels against the state of Israel. Including in their lecture content was that Israelis harvest organs from Palestinians. Once this content went public, and again this is a public university, there was a backlash. Just this year, this class has been removed from the curriculum and replaced with a more generic course that takes a more objective look at various Middle Eastern conflicts. Back in the U.S., at the University of California in Irvine, in May of 2016, the Jewish student group sponsored a movie showing of Beneath the Helmet, a movie about the IDF. Now, this showing was disrupted by an organized group of Students for Justice in Palestine, and they banged on the doors, banged on the windows, hollered, made a ton of noise so that the students watching this film could not hear it. They had to turn the volume up in order to be able to discern the script of the text. After the incident, Jewish students complained, some of them telling investigators that they felt physically harmed or threatened by this disruption. The University of Irvine's administration finally, just this week, made an announcement that they are formally citing the Student for Justice in Palestine group who organized this disruption as being against the conduct policy of the school and are at risk of losing their charter on campus. As such, they have to take an education class on or before November 18th of this year that will teach them how to, and I will quote you, better understand how to host constructive events and protests if they want to protest and add to the conversation rather than distract. This is the objective of the education course these students have to attend if they want to remain on campus. The policy that they violated, I will read you a quote from that particular policy, that prohibits the obstruction or disruption of teaching, research, administration, disciplinary procedures, or other university activities. So this is good news in some respect. While some students wanted some criminal charges to be filed as they felt threatened and harassed, the university did not think that was the appropriate scale of the event. However, they did put the Students for Justice in Palestine group on official notice, deeming their conduct against university policy, and that they have to go to this education class in order to learn how to debate issues in a more scholarly fashion. Also in the United States, an organization called Amacha Initiative, AMACHA, initiative.org. They are circulating a petition for the U.S. Education Secretary to help bring awareness and swift justice to anti-Semitic events that are happening on campus, and to let the Department of Education know that these things are being documented and they must act on this documentation. The Facebook page, Every State for Israel, the Instagram hashtag Oppose Anti-Semitism are all circulating this same petition. And if you go to amachainitiative.org, you can see a map of every documented case of anti-Semitism in North America since the beginning of 2016. It has a little dot on the map where you can click and you can see the date and the investigation or the details. The Amacha Initiative is taking time to investigate every single report that they can find where Jewish students are feeling or somehow interpreting or perceiving anti-Semitic activities on their college campus. The goal of this petition is not only to bring awareness, but also to bring some sort of justice and prevent these things from happening in the future. Jewish students on campus should not be alienated or feel unsafe for any reason, regardless of political ideology or events that are happening in Israel. This is blatant bigotry when these students are identified or targeted for harassment simply by the nature of their identity. Moreover, there is rumors that the Students for Justice of Palestine and other Muslim student groups are compiling dorm addresses of Jewish students so that they can put eviction notices on their doors. Isolated cases of this have happened at a variety of universities, and there are rumors that it is systemic amongst these groups over a wide variety of campuses. That, however, is still being investigated, but in the same vein, it is simply bigotry and hate and cannot be tolerated. Any Muslim group or Students for Justice group who wants to propel human rights and justice, this is not conduct that is in any way going to further that cause, and it must be recognized as such. So as we get ready for back to school, I wanted to give you a university update and say Shavua Tov, Shabbat Shalom. Have a great week.